Hey everybody! So this video we're looking at DNA again, and the first thing we're going to look at is what's called the base pairing rules. So you might have noticed that when you look at a DNA molecule, each of the bases is always paired with a particular other base. Like you can see here, we've got A for adenine paired with T, which is thymine. So remember, we should know all the bases by now. We've got adenine, thymine, guanine, and cytosine. And what scientists discovered is that adenine always pairs with thymine and guanine always pairs with cytosine. So A and T always pair and G and C always pair. The reason for this is because the way the chemical bonds fit together, and we'll learn more about that in later levels. But for now, you just need to remember the actual rule, which bases pair with the other ones. So when you're looking at a double-stranded DNA molecule, you'll always see that you've got A's and T's together and you've got G's and C's together. And this rule's helpful because if you can read only one of the strands, then you automatically know which bases are on the other strand because you can just use the rule to work it out. So if you know it goes G, C, G, then you know that the other strand must go C and then G and then C. Okay. So far we've learnt about DNA, and earlier on I said that DNA, it's a nucleic acid. And nucleic acids are a whole category of molecules. DNA is one of them, but the other important nucleic acid that you find in cells is called RNA. And RNA stands for ribonucleic acid. So its structure is really similar to DNA. It still has 4 bases, but you can see here in this simple diagram, it's only got one strand. So we often compare RNA to DNA by saying it's single-stranded compared to double-stranded, which we know DNA is double-stranded. So RNA is really important in protein synthesis. So there's a few different types of RNA that we'll learn about, and they all play an important role in that process of making proteins, which are those important molecules that do jobs in the cell. So RNA is really important for protein synthesis. The final difference between RNA and DNA, so other than being single-stranded, is that RNA actually has one base different to DNA. So RNA still has adenine, still has guanine, and still has cytosine, but instead of thymine, it has uracil. Uracil instead of thymine. So the 4 bases that you find in RNA molecules are A, G, C, and U. And the base pairing rules are the same. So A pairs with U and G pairs with C. So these molecules come up again and again in genetics, and it's really important to know their structure and the bases that are found in each one.